Yo, this is Shay D and you are watching Wordplay TV.
Cooking up dope with the OOZHE.
Hi, I'm Mireille. I'm here today with Wordplay magazine and we're speaking to Shay D about her new album, Human Rights, and all about her music. So talk me through like you as an artist, what's your sound?
I would say I'm a hip hop artist first and foremost. I like to dip into spoken word and grime every now and then if I feel like it. The way I would describe the sound is like London, hip hop, storytelling, social commentary, and just a bit of hype fun to let loose.
That's good. And like, I guess on that, what kind of inspired you to be a musician? Like, was it something you always wanted to do? Like, what was it that I guess propelled you into this?
Honestly, I don't think I was planning on being, you know, some people are like, they're young and they're like, yes, I saw myself on stage like when I was like 2. I really wasn't into like fully being an artist like that. I just I was the only child like up until I was 12. So I kind of used to watch a lot of like kids shows and read a lot of books and write a lot and keep myself busy by myself. And I think the kind of being introverted like that helped a bit later, where you kind of just end up writing loads of poems or writing stories and stuff like that. And my mum still got loads of them. So I always had that in me. And it's only when I was like in year 10 or year 11 at school where garage and grime were like really bubbling, and all the boys in my school were MCing like in the playground and stuff. And I kind of just wanted to give it a go, and I would stand there and there would be no girls, and I went to the school I went to had like 25 boys and like 3 girls in a class. It was like very male dominated. So you were either like a tomboy or like, so basically I just was like, oh, I think I can do this. So I used to go home and write loads of chats to come and MC, like if I got an opportunity the next day. It was only when my older cousin, I would like roll around with him, and he would listen to like a lot of heavy rap and hip hop a lot. And there was just something about it that I was really intrigued by, and like it just started speaking to me. So I kind of went from writing all the MC chats and stuff into going, oh, actually, I feel like I can tell more stories with hip hop. And then I just started writing, and like every now and then going to like open mics or events and stuff. And then there was like a really long gap. I didn't really do music like that. And then it just came.
Like came back again?
Yeah, I can't even pinpoint it.
It's like it's sort of like supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. I met MC Angel, another female rapper and MC and host. She was running a night and she invited me there to perform, and then also to help her host. And I think from there, I just fell into it like that. So yeah.
That's good. I feel like a lot of times as well with music, like it's better to not force it. Like when it comes back to you, it comes back to you, and then that's when you can be like, okay, I'm in that mindset. I'm like, I'm going forward with it, and you kind of then know like the vision that you're going with, which I guess helps you as an artist, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it made it more comfortable like that. I didn't have a massive expectation, but it's hard when you start doing it like, if you want to like do it professionally, it's quite hard after, because there are measurable outcomes and there are expectations, and then you have this battle of, am I doing this because I love it, or am I doing this because I have to put things out? Like,
exactly.
But yeah, I'm just gonna go with the flow, see what the universe delivers.
That's good. That's what it's all about. But like in your music as well, like you're quite outspoken. You talk about like misogyny in the hip hop industry, and like you also talk about like negative stereotypes and portrayals of women. So how do you feel about like the current state of like the hip hop industry now? Do you think we need more people who are like outspoken, people like Miss Dynamite, Akala, etc.? Do you feel like hip hop has sort of, I guess, lost that element, or do you feel like it's sort of coming back?
I don't feel like it ever lost it. I think all the artists, like the way, so just to like box it and make it easier, like conscious hip hop, or like hip hop with a message, I think it's always been there. Like if you are inquisitive enough and you want to look for artists that talk about that stuff, you'll always find it. But obviously like the main channels and TV and magazines and YouTube channels, what they prescribe to us may not be that. But I don't feel like it ever went anywhere. And I think at the moment, if you want to find artists that have that kind of grassroots hip hop ethos, they do exist. There's in the UK and in Europe and in America, I think there are a lot of them. And I think the state is, I think there's really good music at the moment. It's really healthy. There's a lot, and there are a lot of female artists as well. I just feel like if I don't talk about the stuff I care about, that's just naturally how I am as a person. Like I want to stand up for someone, or I'll get frustrated at something like an injustice in the world. It really gets to me. So I want to make change. So if I'm like that naturally as a person, I think it just reflects in my music. Otherwise, it wouldn't make, like, I don't drink or smoke, or like it would not make sense for me to have a red cup and be talking about bunning if I don't do that. So I'm just trying to reflect just who I am as a person in my music.
One of the songs that stood out to me was Suffragettes, and like the whole video for it and everything was like really cool. It's like a bit like Reservoir Dogs, but like a women's edition, and like it's like really,
that's a good description.
Like a really, I don't know, it's like really inspiring to watch. So what, I guess a load of things probably could have inspired it, but what was like, what propelled you to be like, let's talk about suffragettes now, like let's talk about women's empowerment now?
Do you know, it's such a good question, because I think the other day, because when I was making the merch as well, I was like, how did I come up with this again? Like it was a time ago, like I can't remember. And then I remembered exactly the moment of where I wrote the hook in my phone, because I write lyrics in my notepad. So I was looking at the date and I was like, oh yeah, so firstly, it's the 100th year this year of it's the suffrage 100. So like we got we got the women's vote 100 years ago, like this year, which is incredible. So firstly, because it was the year of the suffragettes, and a lot of the youth projects I was doing in the schools that were getting me to do workshops was around that theme that I was booking things for. So I was like, okay, so it's in the forefront of my head. But what happened is I got booked to do a feminist show, a feminist hip hop show at SOAS University. And on the way there was a march going through Oxford Street up to Tottenham Court Road. So I was walking the back road, and I remember taking my headphones out and going, what is that noise? And I could just hear, like, it's weird because, you know, like football matches, we're always literally used to hearing guys chanting so much. I've noticed it's always men that are chanting, right? So I was just like, oh, hold on, this sounds really different. And it was a group, it was the march, the women's march. And they were going, what do we want? When do we want it? Like, and I was like, and I just heard like a beat in my head, and I remember saying into my Insta story, I was like, oh, the women are marching, this sounds like a sick beat. And then I wrote it in my phone.
That's so good.
And it's so weird because I got to the show and the show had been cancelled, and the girls that were running it were so frustrated because they were saying they weren't respected at the place. When they want to put an event on, it just gets buoyed off and stuff like. And it was so weird because it was exactly the whole point of having the show there. It was so ironic. So I remember I wrote it around that time. I wrote the hook, and then like the verse just kind of just came after. I was just having fun with it, but I wanted the chorus to mention suffragettes for the purpose of this year and to educate someone who might not know what it is. And I just thought, we need something to scream at.
It's true. We need like our own little
to
chanting out.
Exactly. Just always hearing like Arsenal. So I was like, okay, we need our own.
And with like the music video and everything, I saw a post saying like you pretty much like ran the shoot. So was it you who kind of came up with like the creative direction for it and everything?
Well, I co-edited it in a sense. So I wanted it to be in a warehouse. I wanted it to look like a women's protest and march. So I just invited whoever, like girls that want to come down to the shoot. So I was just there on my own. We did like hair and makeup, got the girls arranging them, and Spin City Visuals, he did the video, and he wanted it to look really cinematic and like a film. And he did a really dope video. And then I was like, there's something missing from this. That it looks very nice and very clean, but the whole rawness of a demonstration, and loads of women were missing. I didn't have enough girls in it. So I just put a post up saying, everyone just send me selfies and clips of yourselves, and I'm just gonna edit that into the video myself. So that's how we got all the girls with themselves doing whatever, like in the video.
That's so good.
So that's how I co-edited it. But he did all the work. I just sat and like had to splice in everything else.
But you were like that little extra.
Yeah, and my Mac kept shutting down and closing, and I was putting it on. Now listen, that video was long, but yeah, it came out good.
It's like the final cut, brilliant. So you're an independent artist. Like, how do you find being an independent artist in terms of like managing your schedule, your life? Like, how do you find the journey of it?
It's really exhausting. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's almost like I've forgotten how to not do things or let someone else manage something for me. Like, I feel like I micromanage everything in that way. But I think it's just from years of just doing it yourself. So it's a grind, like it's non-stop. You're at gigs or promoting something online or doing interviews or going to shows, flyering. I run my own event. On top of everything, I work with Breaking Convention, so I do all the youth projects. And then then you got radio, and then you're in the studio making stuff, or you're rehearsing, or like it's actually non-stop. And promotion wise, I mean, if you don't have a radio plugger, or if you don't have funding to pay for like a radio plugger or PR, or to even have money to finance making a really high quality album, it can be really difficult. So I decided to make merch as a way of funding the album and getting my supporters or fans involved in that journey with me. So I have like a private clothes group on Facebook, or sometimes I do it on Instagram, but like I'll put up choices and ask them what colours they want or what they want, or if they want a lyric on a t-shirt, what would they want, or even the album artwork and stuff. So I involve them a lot in that. And you don't make like loads of money from doing that, but it really did help fund the album in a massive way, as well as gigs and stuff. But I mean, it would be great being on, even if it's like a really small label, it'd be amazing to have someone who's invested in you, who wants to see you do well and has the money to invest into you for you to do that. Because if you can do it so successfully, one person on your own, or with a manager who's trying their best to help you too, if you can do that on your own and make this much noise, imagine how much more you can do if you had that backing, or if you had a label who has their radio links and stuff, instead of you emailing everyone going, hey, do you want to play my song? Imagine someone's just blasting that out for you. Like, it's a really big deal having that support. But you know, it's no one forces you, no one puts a gun to your head and say, hey, be a musician, make music. You've chosen to do this, so if you've chosen to do it, you can't really complain, you just do it.
That's true.
So it's hard, and I get really tired sometimes, but I don't know, the energy just comes from what you're doing, or a message or a really good gig, and you get that buzz and you carry on. I love gigging. Like, my ultimate favorite thing is being in a town I haven't been in, or being in a city in Europe I've never been in front of an audience, have an amazing time and going, wow, like, I'm here because of hip hop, like, that's sick. And I think that really excites me. So even if it's like Brighton or Ipswich, or if it's like Switzerland or France, like, I get gassed the same way. But I really enjoy that. That's my favorite thing to do, I think.